fstf.co.uk. Power to the 5-day weekender.
So what we're going to cover in this video is Google Trends and how it can help you with some research on markets and products and services that you might be looking to enter or sell. So it's best if you log into your Google account, and if you don't have one, it's probably wise to create one, as many of the free tools you'll be using for online and internet marketing are provided by Google, and you need a Google email account to log into them. So once you are logged in, go to the Google search engine page and type in trends. And as it is a Google product, it obviously appears first in the listings, and just click on it and jump to the trends page. It looks like the Google search engine home page, but underneath the search box you can see a couple of examples of search trends displayed in various ways, which is quite interesting. If we hover over the swine flu link, they give us an example of how swine flu is trending geographically around the world at the moment. It's interesting to note that Google Trends can be used to track the outbreaks of diseases like influenza based on the frequency of searches using related terms. It was noticed that this was directly correlated to the number of physician or doctor visits in which a patient presented with influenza-like symptoms, and this gives rise to information and data that was previously not available or even possible to collect that helps in understanding more about diseases like that. The Madonna and Adele graph is a perfect example of how a new trend like the singer Adele can be compared to a name that has been around for decades like Madonna, and we're going to see more graphs like that, but on some subjects or topics that are probably more interesting to what we're talking about here. So basically Google Trends shows how often a particular search term is entered relative to the total search volume across various regions of the world and in various languages. Their data only reaches back to approximately 2004, but you can get a pretty good idea of what is trending and what is on the decline in people's minds. So we will start with entering the search term or keyword to examine what is popular and how often people are searching for it. We'll pick something that's related to what the FSTF site is all about, like social media, and I'm going to enter Twitter, as that is a good example of something that has suddenly gone from non-existent at all to becoming an overnight sensation. So you can see that pre-2009 Twitter was basically a flat line, as it didn't even exist in the minds of its would-be inventors at that time. However, Google Trends clearly shows that since then it has rapidly risen in the consciousness of the world's population. In this graph you will notice the letters G, F, E to A. If I hover over G, a pop-up box appears that explains at that point in time Twitter unveiled a new version of the platform that they said would be faster and richer. And you can see that F is related to a news story linking Twitter to the riots in the UK. That was released by The Guardian. Now, what Twitter's doing there is trying to show that news stories can potentially have an effect on what's happening with a product or a market or a search term, and how it might create a peak or a trough in its importance and interest and a number of people that are searching for it. On the left hand side you can even choose to have the graph represent the trend of Twitter solely based on the news searches or image searches or even product searches. You can also filter the results by the region of the world, and the time spans, which is up here, that you want the trend to include. You can probably see on the map that Twitter seems to be gaining a lot of popularity in Venezuela and Indonesia recently. So for some reason at the moment, and it could be due to presidential campaigns or just public awareness, Twitter at the moment there is very, very popular and everyone's searching for it. What we'll do now is add a couple of other social media platforms to compare them to Twitter and get a feel for who or what is gaining or losing popularity in the world at the moment. So I'll add Pinterest, which a lot of my friends say is becoming very popular and I should get involved with. You can see the red graph line of Pinterest appear in comparison to the trending popularity of Twitter. Now you see, I think Pinterest is more popular in the United States and Canada and hasn't really reached the UK or Europe yet, if it will at all. However, if you want to know whether it will or not, Google Trends is one of the places you will get the information to find out. But what I'm going to do is just delete the Twitter graph there. And if we go down to the geographical element, you'll see that Pinterest in the United States and Canada is very, very popular, especially in the United States. But here in the UK and Europe, not many people really are interested in Pinterest at all. So as I thought, it's more something that's interesting to the people in the US and in Canada. That's not to say that very, very soon it's not going to reach over here. But this is where I would come to find out whether it is indeed something that's piquing the interest here in the UK. So I'll add a couple of others now, YouTube and Facebook, by clicking Add Term. Oops. Let me type that in again. YouTube and Facebook. And you can now see all four of them together, and the beast that is taken over the world, Facebook, the green one here, towering above all of the others. There was an estimated 835.5 million Facebook users worldwide at the end of March 2012, and that's according to the Internet World Stats, and approximately 1.43 billion social network users. Now, one of the interesting features that is easy to miss when first looking at Google Trends is the forecast checkbox in the top right hand of the page. What we'll do is try clicking on it here, and you'll see that what Google Trends does is actually forecast how something might gain or decline in popularity in the future. It's not something that I'd like to comment on as to whether it's accurate or not and whether you should even use it, but it is interesting. So that is Google Trends that will help with your research and looking into whether something is going to become popular or is popular at the moment, so you know whether a marketplace is worth going into, or whether a product's gaining interest or losing interest, and really what's hot or not that people are searching for in the online world. I hope that's been useful, and check out some more of our videos that are online on the fstf.co.uk website.
This video was brought to you by fstf.co.uk. Keep up to date and informed, and make sure you don't miss out on more great free tools, videos or interviews with industry experts. fstf.co.uk. Power to the 5-day weekender.